Alright guys, welcome back to Death from Above 40k. We've got a battle report. We're doing our armies for Ark. So Ark's a big tournament here in Victoria, Australia. We've got our list together and we're ready to go. So I've busted out the Brimstone bolters because that's the army I painted up for Ark. I've still got to do some things on them to get some extra points, but I'll go through the list. So to start with, the overall army, it's my chapter, so Brimstone bolters. It's got bolter fusilides and master artisans as the two chapter traits. Alright, let's go through it. So HQs, we've got chapter master on a bike with power fist and storm bolter and combi bolter. He's the warlord with iron resolve, and he's also got the armor indomitus relic, so he's tough to kill and hits pretty hard. Then we've got a captain with the Teeth of Terror, really cheap. His only upgrade is the Teeth of Terror. So already I've spent 3 command points on these 2 units, so I've got 6 left. Then I got a lieutenant with a mastercrafted bolter. Then for troops I got 1, 2, 3 5-man tactical squads. 2 of them have got heavy bolters, and this one over here has multi-melter and combi melter. So that makes these 2 here and these 3 make my battalion. Then this guy here links in over here. I got fly wing detachment. Well, it's not a fly wing detachment. It's the Vanguard, is it? Fast attack?
Yeah.
Yep, Vanguard. So I got 3 land speeders with Typhoon missile launcher and heavy bolter, led by this guy here. Then over here we've got, look at that, what is that? It's a Land Raider Crusader. It's got all the bells and whistles and upgrades. I've put a multi-melter on it, the extra storm bolter, everything. That's the centerpiece for the army. It's beautiful. Alright, then over here, another heavy support. So we've got Devastator squad with Grav. You've seen it, you know what it does. Come down, you use the thing, blow things away. So this unit will be going in there with them as well. So that's why they got the multi-melter combi melter. And then over here we have the Thunderfire cannon. So that brings me in at exactly 1350 points and minus 3 command points down to 6. Alright, I'll go over to Aaron's list. Say good day, Aaron.
Hey, how are you?
So Aaron's using Eldar, but it's all the new Psychic Awakening stuff. So he's made his own Craftworld. So what are the 2 chapter traits for your Craftworld?
Children of Prophecy.
Children of Prophecy.
So all 1s in the psychic phase are treated as 2s.
Yep, so it helps with your perils. Yep.
And then Hail of Doom, so any shuriken weaponry within 12 is a natural neg 1.
And as you can see along these vehicles and everything in the back, he's got a lot of shurikens, so I think he's planning on getting close. So what do you got in the list? For your HQs up the front here?
So I got 2 Spirit Seers up the front.
Yep.
Just leaving the army a bit fluffy, a bunch of Wraith at the back.
Yep.
So then you got Guardians, 2 units of Rangers to fill up troop choices.
Yep, so that's your battalion.
Yep. And then just 3, so Wraith Blades with swords, Wraith Blades with flamers. Oh, flamers, sorry.
All good, mate.
And Wraith Guards with the D cannons.
Lots of Wraith going on.
Yeah.
And then up the back, these are just Wave Serpents, all with...
So we've got 2 with scatter lasers and shuriken cannons, and 1 with all shuriken cannon.
Alright, and how many points is this?
So you're going by the Ark rules. It's an Ark Forged detachment, so it gives me 10 command points and it's 1329 points.
1329, so you got 20 points spare. Alright, too easy. So what we'll do is, we've both got our custom armies here, the Brimstone bolters versus, what are these called?
I need to think of a name.
Need to think of a name. The Purple Pirates we'll go with. No, I don't know. We'll come up with a name. If you can think of a name for this purple colour scheme for Aaron, write it in the comments below and we'll see how we go. Alright, we'll get these 2 armies battling, we'll roll up a mission and we'll get back to you. Alright guys, we have rolled up a mission. We are using the new Chapter 29, Chapter Approved 2019, Chapter 29. And we're playing one of the missions out of it called Scorched Earth, but it's pretty much Scorched Earth 2.0. So objective wise, we've got 1, this is going from right to left too, because I've chosen hammer and anvil. So we got 1, 2, 3, over here 4, around here 5, and then over here 6. So pretty much the first 2 objectives had to go outside your deployment zone and the last 2 had to go in your deployment zone. So setup wise, I chose hammer and anvil and chose to go second just because I wanted to keep Aaron's flamers and stuff away from me. He's got all his wave serpents down here ready to rock and roll. Then he's sort of got one unit of scouts over here. I didn't even see them, guys, that's how well camouflaged they are. One unit of scouts here, and he's got some guardians here. Then down here, oh, sorry, by the way, these are obviously got all his, what are they called again? Wraiths. In these things, and his 2 spirits is also in there. So he had a quick deployment, then I had one as well. So I have Thunderfire Cannon, then I have Land Raider with 2 tactical squads, Captain and Lieutenant in it. I have Chapter Master and his 3 trusty Land Speeders, and then in the drop pod, I've got the Devastators and another tactical squad coming down. Now the rules are that you got to select, so starting from the second turn, you got to hold these objectives, and you get 1 point, and they add up as the game goes on. Cumulatively, I can't even say the word, so that's why I'm trying not to say it. Now, Aaron set up first, because I let him have it so that I could choose the deployment, hammer and anvil. You probably see a theme. I really like hammer and anvil. So I'm going to try and seize the initiative. Are you ready for this, Aaron? That's a 4. So the Eldar, or Craftworlds, who we still haven't named, I'm going with Purple Pirates. If you guys can come up with another name. Actually, what's that song? Green Purple People Eater? Is it green? Nah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, guys. Move right along. Alright, so Craftworlds will be having first turn. If you do know that song that I was talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Alright, we'll get back to you at the end of this and see if I've got any Space Marines left on the table. Alright guys, so at the end of the Craftworlds, turn 1. These guys sat here to hold this objective and didn't do anything. These guys sat here and shot across at my Land Raider and didn't do anything. These guys ran over to here to hold this objective, and all 3 Wave Serpents flew to the center, so they were all the way back here. He advanced, and he's on this center one, so right on my doorstep now. Shooting wise, he shuriken catapults fired into here, and they took 3 wounds off my Land Raider, rolling 6s, getting AP3 and cutting through some of its armor. So he didn't get first strike, but he's put his presence on 3 objectives. So I'm going to have to answer to that now. So I'll get back with Space Marines turn 1 and try and kill some of these Wave Serpents. And I know how hard they are to kill, so they'll probably all be here when this goes back to my turn, or his turn. Alright, we'll get back to you. Alright guys, at the end of Space Marine turn 1, the Brimstone boulders have hit back like an absolute ton of bricks. So, if we go to the center here, as you can see, there's a Wave Serpent missing. These are down to 1 guy, and this Wave Serpent's on 2 wounds. So how did we get there? So we backed the Land Raider back a bit. These 3 Land Speeders with the Heavy Doctrine and the Chapter Master there with rerolls, and the support of this Thunderfire Cannon blew away the first one. First Wave Serpent. Then this Land Raider pretty much cut down the guys in here. So actually the Thunderfire Cannon and the Land Raider cut down the guys in here. Then I dropped my drop pod down here, putting the tactical squad on the objective here, and then a Devastator squad in the building to get some cover, and then they fired across over here with the multi-melters and grav and took this down to 2. So we got first strike, and we're sitting on a few objectives, one back here as well, so he'll have to come back. Oh, we killed the Rangers in here with Boulder Fire as well, just to add insult to injury. So, really, really good turn, smashed out a heap of points, but now he's up on the center here. He's got all his things where they need to be to come forward, take this Land Raider. Still this guy, still troops over here, still holding objectives. This is a game where it doesn't matter if you get tabled, it matters how many points you got at the end of the game. So, we'll get back to Craftworld turn 2 and see if you can't take out some of these vehicles. Alright guys, end of Craftworld's turn 2. So from the center here, he's made a push, everything's right up here in my grill. So, shooting wise and combat. So pretty much everything in this section shot and combated into this Land Raider, taking it. It's got 11 wounds off it now, so what's that? It's on 5 left. So the Land Raider's still there, but they've put pressure on my back line here. Over here, these guys come and chop down all my Devastators, and they chop this tactical squad down to 1 guy. So, then he consolidated into this so that I couldn't shoot at him. And I can't back out of combat because I'm a drop pod, but he can back out. So yeah, it's a weird situation. But anyway, points wise, so he's holding this one. He's holding this one, and the one over here. So that's 4 points.
I have 2. Is that starting your turn?
So you got to hold them.
So I got 2 at the start of my turn.
Yep.
I'm sitting on them. I have to hold them through your shooting for your turn.
Yeah.
To score 4 next round.
All right then. But he's put himself in a good position to get a lot of these. But I'll go on with Blood Angel's turn 2, and we'll see if we can't return the firepower back at him, which he's laughing at me now because he's like, that's a lot of firepower. What do you think of the Brimstone Boulder so far, Aaron?
You said Blood Angel's turn 2.
Did I?
Yeah.
It's because I played too much Blood Angels. There you go, guys. Brimstone Boulders, Blood Angels. It's all happening. Aaron's fought me Blood Angels that many times. I think I'm playing them. All right, we'll get back to this with the Space Marines turn 2. See if I can get some objectives. All right, guys. End of Space Marine turn 2. The Brimstone Boulders have kicked it into overdrive. So, movement-wise, all these Marines got out of this Land Raider, moved into the centre. The Land Raider moved over here. These 3 stood still. The Chapter Master moved forward a little bit. Thunderfire Cannon stayed still. And as you can see, Captain Ren's over in here with his chainsword. Death from above. Here he is, chopping them up. He didn't kill too many Guardians, but hey. So, shooting wise, between these guys, they blew away a heap of the Wraith Guard, are they? Yep, Wraith Guard.
Yep.
With the Flamers. And then this guy charged into combat and punched out the last of them to finish him off. This obviously couldn't shoot because it moved out of combat. Then in here, he had his Warlord here. So the reason I bunched all these up is so these 10 Space Marines and their Lieutenant pretty much piled up here. Target acquired, brother, and just blew him away. Nothing left of him. Then this tactical squad had a few rounds left over. So they shot over here and killed the last of the Wraith Guard again, but with the cannons. Now, because we're playing in arc rules, you have to pick your most expensive unit at the start of the battle. Mine being the Land Raider, and his was the Wraith Guard with the cannons. You get a point for that. So I killed his most expensive unit, so I got a point for that. Then over here, this guy ran in, tried to chop these guys down. Didn't do very well, did he? Considering. No. Had the Teeth of Terror and just failed. Then over here, he pretty much chopped into this to get rid of it. And this guy sort of shot over here. Thunderfire Cannon shot over here as well. Killed these guys down to 1. So at the end of my turn 2, I'm on 4 points. And what are you on, Aaron?
I'm currently on 2.
Yep, so we'll count up his next amount of points at the start of his turn, which he's still on a fair few objectives. And we'll get back to you at the end of the next Craftworld turn. Alright guys, end of the Craftworld turn. He's scored 4 points and caught up to me. So we're both on 4 points at the end of this one. What did he do in this round? So, combat-wise over here, shooting-wise I should start with, shouldn't I? So shooting-wise, he took some more wounds off this guy because he got close and used some Serpent Shields. This guy didn't do anything because he's only got 2 wounds left, so he's hitting on 5s, is it? Yeah, yep. And then over here, there was no shooting because these guys were in combat. Mind you, this guy did shuriken pistol my sergeant in the face that was here, so they now got this objective. These guys chopped down the drop pod, so there's no drop pod left. Over here, the combat goes on. The captain and these guys, he's slowly chopping them all down, and that's about it. So points-wise, he got ahead, and he's still got some stuff on the table. So I'm going to go to my next turn, see if I can't kill some more bloody pointy-eared purple people eaters, and we'll get back to you. All right. Alright, end of the Brimstone Bolters turn 3. That was my turn 3, wasn't it? Yep. Alright, so hectic shooting again. So this, well actually the way it pretty much went down is these guys used their heavy bolters to finish off the Wave Serpent was here. Then they moved, oh sorry, we'll go back to movement, slow down a bit. I've had a few cans of Coke here, boys. So this stayed still. These guys moved over here. The reason they did that is to get line of sight down to these guys. The heavy bolters weren't in range, so they shot here, killed the Wave Serpent. Missiles from here shot across to here and took out one of these guys and wounded another guy. This took the other wave serpent down to 1 wound, and then it took pretty much everything else in my army shooting at it, thunderfire cannons, that heavy bolters everywhere to take that last wound off. He just kept making saves. We got rid of it, and then we finally cleaned him up in the center here. So he's holding this objective over here, and he's holding this over here. Now he said he was happy to go on and do another turn, see what he can do some damage, and we'll get back to you and see what he's done. So I'm on 6 points, he's on 4. Just remembering, it doesn't matter if you table your opponent, it's who's got the most points at the end of the game. We'll get back to you. Alright guys, end of Craftworld turn 4. So, these guys sat here to hold this. The major thing that happened is this guy come flying over here with his psychic powers. He killed my Chain Lord. He killed the 2 guys on this and just secured this. This guy over here was still holding this. So at the start of his turn, we're both on 6 points. Now, I'm going to go to turn 4, but the reason we're doing this is because this is practice for a tournament. You go the distance with the game because of mission critical and all that sort of stuff. You don't want to skim your opponent on points by trying to end the game early. So what we'll do is we'll go to turn 4, see if I can't get him off the board, because if he comes off with more points, that means he wins. It's not looking too good at the moment, but you just never know what's going to happen. So what we'll do is we'll go back to Space Marine turn. I have to get rid of these guys for a start, which is not going to be easy because I've got to try and draw a line of sight on them and see what we can do. We've still got lots of firepower. We'll see if we can't kill him in this tournament practice game. That guy's definitely going down. Alright. Alright guys, at the end of the Brimstone Boulders turn 4, it's been an absolute decimation. The only thing Aaron had left was 2 of these guys sitting on this objective, which brought it to a stalemate. He couldn't generate any more points, or not enough to keep up, and he couldn't return any kind of attack or firepower. And I simply just had too much firepower with the Land Raider, these 3, Chapter Master supporting him, still got Tactical Marines, and we had this Thunderfire Cannon back here. It's just too much to withstand in terms of like late game. So, what have you chosen as your man of match?
The Wraith Blades.
Wraith Blades. These carved up, well, I'm just thinking, about 400 points plus of my army. We were just saying that you probably should have sent them this way because they're actually really good in combat. They get the +1, they get a lot of attacks, so they were really good. Any thoughts on your army, mate, you want to add? Going forward to Ark?
We just need a little bit of long range firepower, which is what is lacking in the army.
Yep.
So
we were just discussing between me and Aaron, he's probably on his Wave Serpents, going to swap over to some Bright Lancers to give him a bit more range and firepower, sort of act how these land speeders were. And we'll give it another test run, have a bit of a rematch. I'm pretty happy with how the Brimstone Boulders are. I don't think I need to make any changes at this point. That's just the sound of my tank engine there, by the way. Alright, so if you've enjoyed this, like and subscribe. If this is more of tournament practice stuff that we're getting ready to go, it's in February, so we've only got a couple of months because we're already in December. So we'll be trying out some lists, doing some different stuff, and we'll get back to you with more of these Journey to Ark battle lists. Alright, enjoy guys.